Hey folks, I know it's been a while since my last video. Well, we had that little storm back in September called Hurricane Florence, and took a good large chunk of the roof of my house with it. So I've been trying to pack and move and everything else, and basically haven't had a new house built. So I haven't had a whole lot of time to get out digging. But here we are, early February. Whew, what a break. And hunting for some old house sites. I've done some map work, and I've done some leg work, and I found a site from the 1920s, but now we're going to look for something a little bit older. And I want to show you guys today certain things to look for in the coastal areas to kind of determine where old houses are. And unlike up north, New Hampshire, Vermont, anywhere in the mountains where people built cellar holes, built their cellars and stuff out of rocks, we don't have a lot of big rocks around here. We do still have cellar holes, but they're not the same as you would expect. They'd be smaller root cellars. And in fact, most houses here were built above ground because we're prone to flooding. Here's a case in point. That is one big old mud hole. A lot of times what you want to look for are creeks, cuts, branches, any type of water source. We didn't dig a lot of wells in this area simply because flowing water, running water is so prevalent. And it's clear. I mean, we have artesian wells where the water just bubbles up out of the ground. And in fact, there's an area near here where an entire lake system has been fed through one of those artesian wells. So I'm gonna take a walk through here, and it's a good mile or so, a mile and a half through these woods. Fortunately, I have good walking, and I'll turn you guys back on when I see something interesting. All right, folks, so let me show you where I'm at. I've got this low-lying area over here and this old creek or branch, whatever you want to call it. Okay, now normally they would not have built their houses in this area because it is so low-lying. If this creek had flooded, it would have flooded their house. So I'm going to show my attention, or aim my attention over on this side here where it slopes up, and it's much higher over here. I'm actually going to start over here first. Now what they would do is they needed water. Everybody needed water. So they would build their houses on the highland near a creek. And this area is just about perfect. I'm going to concentrate it in over here, and then if nothing comes up over there, I'm going to focus in over here. Now look at this creek for a second. There's an established, I mean, look how deep this thing is. The water itself isn't deep, but the creek is. And that creek's been on maps as far back as the 1800s. And we are way back in the woods here. So what we're on is, this is an old established colonial Civil War era roadbed. And it's now, you know, it's been out of use for so many years that it's just an old road through the woods now. Okay, so it goes to show, a lot of times something isn't as it appears. And I'll actually take you guys back here in a little bit, and I'll show you some more of the old established colonial roadbed. Okay, so I'll turn you guys back on first while I'm searching, see if I find anything. Hopefully this won't be a bust. Hey folks, I've been digging here for a couple of seconds here. Show you this hole real quick. And this is what I pulled out of it. Oh God, it is a hefty piece of metal. It was ringing me a high 75. I think that might turn out to be a wheel hub to a tire. of some sort. Let's see if I can clear some of the gunk off of it and see what we have here. That's a 4-bolt hub. Looks like a 4-bolt hub to some sort of old vehicle. If you know what it is, if it's an old car, I don't know, part whatever, leave your comments below. Maybe it's a piece of an old tractor tire. Weird. Alright, moving on. Alright folks, this is kind of interesting. Let me show you where I'm at. I'm in this little dugout ditch piece. That goes down to that creek I showed you at the beginning of this video. Now, right there is where I dug that wheel hub. And what do you suppose I dug right next to the wheel hub? Leaf spring to old vehicle. I think I have run across either the final resting spot of somebody's old truck or just a spot where somebody dumped a bunch of old scrap car parts. But those are old. Now I have found in the same area farther up some old parts to old Model T vehicle. So I know I'm definitely doing something right. We'll keep searching. I'll let you know what else I find. Alright folks, so the more I look around here, the more I'm starting to think that instead of a house site, I'm running into a barn or a pig pen or someplace where people used to keep their cattle. Where I found this car parts was right over in there on the other side of that tree. And you'll see the trees down around here. You'll see all these trees down. This is all devastation from Hurricane Florence, and we're back in the woods where these guys were kind of protected from the wind. But this is why I think I've hit upon a wildlife spot. Barbed wire. Now it's not particularly old. I mean, it's probably 20s or 30s. 1920s, 1930s, maybe even newer than that. But it's just a chunk out here in the middle of nowhere. We got lightning strike? No. So just a diseased tree. I was thinking it might be one of those used to get pitch from, the way it's cut. But I think it's just something shredded it and it got diseased. But all right, well, we're gonna keep digging, and I'll grab you guys when I find something else of interest. Check this out. This was on the surface. At first it was upside down, so all I saw was this. That looks like the wheel hub off one of those things you check trains with, train tracks with. Not 100% sure. If you know exactly what it is, please leave me a comment. I'm not lugging this sucker out of here because it's heavy. And to be honest with you, I think my road is that way, but I'm not 100% sure. So, if you see this video, I made it out okay. If you don't see this video, we'll have a problem. But that's okay. I have a pretty good idea where I am. Look at all that new growth. See how small all those trees are over there? That's new growth. That used to be a field. And that kind of lines in with the barbed wire. I've been finding a lot of barbed wire out here. So I'm thinking this used to be a cow pasture of some sort. And the cows would go down to the creek over here and to drink. So it's just a little cow pasture. But this guy's interesting. I'll keep going. I made it out, found the road. It's right over there. I wasn't far off. So y'all don't have to come looking for me yet this time. So here's my thought. There's the road. Now we just went all back in that area. Okay. Hey, you guys have seen up to now everything I found with the exception of a couple of pieces of scrap metal and a soda can. So y'all haven't missed anything. So, what I'm wondering is if that area over there was where they kept the livestock so that they could water off, and it would make sense because you would want your livestock downstream of where you put your house, and the water here runs from that way down. Okay, so you would want your livestock downstream of where you put your house so you don't get sick from dysentery and whatever. So the stream goes this way. Then maybe my original hypothesis was wrong and there might have been a house up in here. So we're going to look around. It's certainly, the ground looks a lot easier to walk through. What do you guys think? Should I check it out? Yeah, let's do it. You guys come along with me. Little mood music. I say Pro Zero. I'm gonna leave my discrimination off, my sensitivity on high, because anything I'm gonna find out here is gonna be deep, and I'm barely gonna hear a whisper when I go over it. So let's see. You guys grab a shovel for me. Appreciate it. Let's go see what we can find. Yep. Got the ground balance. There we go. That helps. If y'all see a Sam Squinch, you know what to do, right? That's right. Yell. Remember, I don't have to be faster than the Sam Squinch. I only have to be faster than the guy running. So I hope you guys can run. I'm gonna put you guys back in my pocket. I'll pull you back out when I find something. Here we go. Now, I'm not real sure, but I believe somewhere in this area there's an old home site. I hadn't seen it yet. You guys seen it? Right over there. Nope. I don't see it over there. I don't see it down there. Y'all got any idea where it might be? What? What'd you say? Behind me? Where? Oh, there it is. Good job. Appreciate it. I couldn't have done it without your help. Let's have a look at it, see what we got here. Actually, I hunted this site a couple of weeks ago. There's a lot of stuff here, but it's mostly modern. This house was actually built in the 1920s. A couple of folks lived in it. One died, the other one moved away, and then it just fell into disrepair over the last really 30, 40 years. There's an old pull tab I pulled a couple of weeks ago. Piece of metal. Some stuff I had pulled out of here before. I remember when I was young, this house still had the second floor on it. You could actually go up to the second floor, and all of this area around it was fields. So you could see all the way. The only thing of any interest I pulled out of here, I pulled a 1921 Wheatie out of here. But so far, that's the only coin found in this area. So I'm going to attempt to see if I can find something else today. Something more fun, since I got skunked on my other sites. Let's see if we can't find something worth talking about today. Well, that house is right across the street there, right across the road there. And I decided I was going to try across from it today. I was here a few weeks ago, and I found an old clothes iron and a couple other little iron pieces. So I thought I'd try it again today, see if I have any luck. And what I found is, well, this. So far, it looks like an old bicycle brake or a tool of some sort. Maybe something decorative. Maybe I found the devil's pitchfork. Nah. Okay, no, seriously. I'll put it in the bag, and we're gonna keep looking. You guys hold on. I'll bring you back out when I find something worth looking at. Alright, so walking down this road. Now this is, I mentioned earlier, is Old Colonial Road. And this is part of the old road. Okay, it's kept out by the owners now, who's been gracious enough to give me permission to hunt this. They keep it pretty well mowed down. So walking down the roadbed, of course you find what you always find in the road in the country: cans and assorted scrap. I found a lot of pot pieces. This is the most interesting one. Check out the shape on that. Okay. Now when I bring it to the end, you see a little differently. That looks like a knife blade. So I am going to take that home and clean that up and see if it is. And it's right here in the middle of the road. Move it on. Well, that didn't take me too long. There's the hole I just dug and found what I believe to be a knife blade. And here's the hole now. And there we have it. Looks to be a plow point. Maybe my knife blade piece is a broken off piece of that plow point. Alright guys, I'm going to dig this one live for you. It's giving me a signal somewhere between a 69 and a 95. And it's right near the surface. It says it should be right here under this root. There's a worm. Nope. Oh no, it's a root. So it is not far down. It's probably a bullet. And I don't mean a Civil War type, I mean a modern. This dirt here is perfect sandy, loamy soil. Oh, there we go. There's more. Oh, holy cow. Oh. All right, that's just a piece of pot metal. Pretty much on the surface. I suspect what we're going to find is a bullet. pull it. What's that? Well, that's not what I expected to find at all. Check that out. It's an electrical outlet cover. Well, it's definitely modern, but what a weird place for it. This must have fell out of somebody's car or their truck. Okay, so we just showed an electrical box cover, and I guess 5 feet away I find the rest of the electrical outlet. I got nothing. The only thing I can think of is somebody had parked their truck here and it just fell out of their truck. Oh well. Moving on. Well, folks, I've literally hit the end of my road. Now, y'all see that right over there? That is the pickup of the road. Now, the gentleman who's given me permission to hunt on his land also owns that land on the other side. I see a chair over there, so I know there's a way over there. I'm not sure where it is, but I intend on finding it one day. There's got to be a way over there. It's pretty well kept over there, too. Now, what else do you see here? Let you look up the riverbank. Y'all see how right there where that chair is? This is a crossing. And I'm sure if I did some more investigating, I'd find a spot somewhere around right where I'm standing. Through all the tree roots and cedar knots and everything else, cypress knots, that I would find a spot where there used to be either a plank road or a bridge that went across here. Now, anything out there would have been washed away in a hurricane. There's been a lot of them since then. Like I mentioned to you guys earlier, Hurricane Florence hit us several months back, and it took its pretty bad toll. And this whole area was flooded. I'm gonna head back to the house. I gotta get back up this hill. I'm gonna head back to the house, and I'll clean up some of these finds that I pulled out of the woods today, and we'll look at them together in a final wrap up. I'll see you guys in probably about an hour and a half my time, but at about 5 seconds your time. See you. Final wrap up. I've just saved a couple of pieces. I'm going to work on an electrolysis tank later. This piece, I still have no clue what it is. If any of you can help me out with it, I'd appreciate it. We do have a nut notch or a bolt right there. You guys will look at it from the side. I don't know. I thought it was like a tool of some sort, but I'm not really sure. If any of you know what it is, please leave it in comments. This, I'm still mostly certain it's a knife blade. It still looks the same, came out pretty good. I just want to take a little extra time cleaning that up. This was just a big piece of angle iron. So what I thought was a magnetic rock turned out to be a washer. It was just so encrusted. I mean, it didn't even look like this. It was completely looked like a round rock. So that much iron has seeped out of it. And then lastly, big piece of metal. It's just a pot. It's just a piece of pot metal. So that's it. A long walk. A couple of items worth keeping. Not a great day, but still better than a good day at work. So until next time, y'all keep digging.